Hey, 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 beautiful people. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Listen, I sound a little congested. I'm sorry I missed a few days. Your girl was under the weather, but I took those vitamins and I am back up. Not quite 100%, but I am up. I was like, ooh, I got to get back on air for my people because I know y'all were missing me, right? Because I was missing y'all. So happy Monday. Happy Monday. I am your girl, Coach TaShon, your marriage communication coach, here to support you in bridging the communication gap in your marriage, 7 years plus. So, welcome today. I feel like a reporter, y'all, because y'all know between a reporter and the educator, I got my lesson plans for you, and I'm like a reporter. I wanted to make sure that I give y'all facts and information. I told you your girl been working. Your girl has been working, you guys. Listen, thank y'all so much for joining me each and every day on this 31-day journey. This 31-day journey. This is our third week, you guys. Third week, day 15 of our journey to bridging the communication gap in our marriages, 7 years plus. And we're discussing managing conflict resolution, such as cooling down techniques, avoiding blame, finding common ground, managing emotional triggers, the role of forgiveness, and recognizing conflict resolution styles that will help us, foster the relationship and resolve conflict faster, right? So, and remember, these are very easy, attainable steps because what do I tell you? I don't like stress and I don't want to stress you all, right? So they're very easy and attainable steps. However, the trick is you have to do this every day. You have to practice it every day, okay? Every day. So tonight we're going to talk about the power of apology. Ooh, the power of apology. Apologies can heal wounds, and when it's sincere, an apology shows that you value your relationship. However, it's just not, it won't be done on your timing. And that is a lesson that I had to learn personally on several occasions. Yes, your girl, Coach TaShon, had to learn these lessons, right? Because the type of person that I am and was, I wanted to make sure that the person that offended me, right? The person that offended me understood my pain, right? And so I wanted that person to feel it, and I wanted that person to be sincere and give me an apology right there. But that wasn't always the case. That wasn't always the case. Because again, when that person did give me the apology, guess what? I was still doubting in my mind, like, oh, they ain't sincere about it. They just saying it just to be saying it. Right? So I was never satisfied with the apology. So that's why I said it's not on your timing, right? It is not on your timing. But an apology is needed in a lot of our offenses, right? So listen, here are 5 steps to apologizing to your spouse in marriages 7 years plus. Because we can get stubborn. We can get stubborn in our marriage, right? And we feel like, oh, well, he should know how I feel, and he should know that I don't like this, that, and other, and he should know, or she should know, da, 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 da. And then we are expecting an apology, and your spouse is like, I don't even know what I'm apologizing for, right? Yeah. It happens. It's common. It's common. It is very common in marriages. All right. So don't think you're the only one that's going through it. However, here are 5 easy steps to apologizing to your spouse, right? Even if you feel like you don't, I don't need to apologize because that's not what I was saying. Remember, we talked about sometimes the miscommunication, misinterpretation of our conversations can be misleading to our spouses, and we're unaware of it. Well, sometimes we have to bite the bullet and apologize. So here's number one. You got your notebook. Did I forget? I forgot to tell you. I've been gone a couple of days. Make sure you have you a journal. Have a journal. This one I got from Amazon. You can go to the dollar store, get your pen, pencil, or whatever. Take these notes, okay? Take these notes. Uh, it's always good to take notes because, again, even though I want you to do these like today, your activity today, you can still go back and look at the activity because, again, you're going to practice these daily. Every day, you're going to practice, 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 practice. Okay. That's the only way you're going to be able to achieve the results that you want. Right. So here we go. Number one, number one, number one. Acknowledge the hurt. Acknowledge the hurt. Meaning, begin by recognizing the pain or discomfort your actions may have caused. Be specific about what you did or said that hurt your spouse, showing that you fully understand the impact of your behavior. Now, again, we have to be very intentional when we're apologizing to our mates, right? Don't just apologize because you think that's what your spouse wants to hear. And again, the spouses that are receiving the apology, you have to have some patience with your spouse that is apologizing, right? Because again, if your spouse is trying to apologize with sincerity, with wholeheartedness, that may not come right off the rip. That may not come right off the rip, right? So you have to be patient and you have to have an understanding. And it depends on the level of offense also. But you have to understand that that apology is not going to come just like that. It depends on the offense. Now, it may be something like, "Oh, I ate your ice cream. I'm sorry." That's a general, simple apology because I really am sorry that I ate your ice cream, right? I didn't mean to. I just dipped my spoon in it and I didn't think you were going to notice it. But I apologize. All right? So it's easy, right? You can say I'm sorry because you didn't mean to do it, right? Versus there's an offense like, "Oh, you know what? I went to the bank and I withdrew some money and I didn't tell you about it because I really needed to get this part for the car or for for something, and I should have come to you. I'm sorry." And that could be very well very offensive to your spouse. And so you have to be very strategic and very empathetic with your apology. Put yourself in your spouse's shoes. Okay. So acknowledge the hurt. Acknowledge the hurt that you caused. Okay. Number two, take responsibility. Mm. Own up to your actions without making excuses or shifting blame. A sincere apology involves accepting full responsibility for your role in the conflict, which helps rebuild the trust. So you do have to take that responsibility. Going back to the ice cream thing, I don't know why I'm fascinated with ice cream, y'all. I think it's because it's hot. But going back to the ice cream scenario, I own up to my responsibility, right? I dipped into your ice cream. I shouldn't have because that is your ice cream. I have mine. I just wanted a little taste of yours. I took responsibility in that versus shifting the blame versus saying, "Well, you know what? You shouldn't have had it in the freezer first of all. There were no names on it. What's yours is yours. What's yours is mine, and mine is yours, right?" Instead of saying that, you took ownership. You take ownership of that. And you're acknowledging that. You're taking responsibility. "I'm sorry, I did dip my spoon into your ice cream without asking you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Forgive me." Okay? See the difference? There is a difference. You got to take that responsibility. All right? Number three, express genuine regret. Let your spouse know that you genuinely regret your actions and the hurt they caused. This step is about showing empathy and demonstrating that you care deeply about their feelings. Again, this goes all hand in hand. You have to be very sincere about your apology. If you just brush it off and be like, I'm sorry, and you can keep it, right? You can keep that apology. And that's what your spouse is going to feel like. Keep that because it wasn't genuine and you didn't have you didn't express a regret, a true regret. You're just saying sorry because that's something that you're probably used to saying automatically. It just rolls off the tongue without any thinking thought to it. So go ahead and keep it. It doesn't mean anything. And then that's where your conflict continues. So you have to express genuine regret, right? And again, it comes within your timing. It's not going to come. And again, it depends on the level of offense, right? It depends on the level of offense. That number four, commit to change. Meaning, apologizing is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Okay, it's essential to express a commitment to making positive changes. Share Share steps you plan to take to avoid repeating the same mistakes and to improve your relationship moving forward. Believe it or not, couples go through this. Now, I dipped in your ice cream the first time, and I apologize for that, right? Now you got something else in there. Now you got your wings in the refrigerator. And I'm going in there and I'm taking bites off in your wings and I'm taking without, really having concern for like that was your meal. Okay. And then I apologize for that, but I'm still doing it, right? So now you bring in something else and I have no consideration and I'm constantly doing something that's offending you. Well, you got to commit to a change to rectify that. It may seem simple, like, oh, that's just ice cream, or that's just his food, or that's just, You got to think of it bigger as a bigger picture because again, if your husband is coming home, right? And we've all been there. I'm talking from a wife perspective. We've all been there. Your husband has this meal that he's been wanting, he's been planning to eat or whatnot. And sometimes as wives, we like to dig on in there and whatnot, right? And we don't know that is like that's their thing, that's their private moment, that's theirs, right? But we're not considering that. We're just like, oh, that's just my husband, he don't mind if I take a bite of it. But before you know it, you then took out a whole lot of bites, right? And so now he doesn't have his full meal. He's upset, he's genuinely upset now because now he's like, you're invading my privacy. You're invading my space. This was something I was looking forward to. And husbands and wives get into arguments and have conflict over food. How do I know? Because people have come to me and asked me, what should they do? I've been there, done that. I'm trying to tell you. It seems minor, but it's not, it's something major, right? Because again, you're telling your spouse that you don't care that they have something that they want. You're just worried about you. That's the message that you're sending, or that's what your spouse is hearing. Okay. So that's why you have to commit to a change. You have to commit to a change. You're like, okay, you know what? I know your food is tempting. And I'm just using this as an example. Oh, that looks good. But instead of me going and sneaking into his food, let me go ask him for a bite and he'll give it to you versus going into the refrigerator, sneaking, then trying to tie it back up and be done, act like you didn't do nothing, right? No, this time you're gonna ask for it. That's a change, right? You're like, babe, can I have a taste of your ice cream? I like that flavor. Can I taste it? And he'll be like, yeah, babe, here, I got you some, versus you sneaking in and then you're lying. And then next thing you know, it's going to be a trigger that we talked about, those triggers. And then you're going to create a whole snowball effect of other emotions. And then you're going to start going down that rabbit hole. And the argument's no longer going to be about the ice cream. It's going to be about something else that happened in the past. Guarantee you. I know it for a fact. Been there, done that. So this is where you commit to a change. You're going to commit to making that change. So instead of just going and doing that, ask, right? Ask your partner, ask your spouse. Okay. Number 5, seek forgiveness and reconnect. Ask for forgiveness and give your spouse the time and space they need to process your apology. Once they've had time to heal, find ways to reconnect and reinforce your bond, reminding each other of the love and commitment that brought you together. So, again, apologies are not going to happen overnight, and we cannot expect them to happen overnight. It takes time. And you may depend, and again, depending on the offense, it may be some time before you get an apology. But what you can do is you can continue to practice this communication skill so that your partner, your spouse can be comfortable in knowing, because your partner may be intimidated by the offense and may not understand how the apology works or whatnot. Believe it or not, even though y'all been married 7 years plus, trust me. Okay. So this is your next step. This is your next step. You're going to apologize for a past mistake today by writing an apology letter and sharing it with your spouse. Now, I like for you to do the activity today, not tomorrow, not next week. But this activity, I do want you to take time with it. So even if it takes you the rest of the evening and you present it to your spouse tomorrow or whatnot, I want you to take time to write out this apology letter. And again, it depends on what the offense is. It depends on how long you want it to be, but write it out. That's one reason why I like for you to have a journal, because you can actually write it in the journal. I want you to write out this apology letter and I want you to present it to your spouse and allow your spouse to take it all in. Okay? That's what I want you to do. So, again, you're going to start on it tonight, but when you decide to present it, let it be a moment where that safe space where you can present it to your spouse in sincerity. Okay? Because again, we're bridging the communication gap. We don't want to widen it. We want to get all of this out on the table. Okay? And it's very easy to do. I promise you it's very easy. It's not hard. It's not challenging. It can be challenging if you're not used to apologizing, if you're not used to um if you're not used to being humble in your marriage. You understand what I'm saying? But you can do it. You can do it. Okay? So remember, in order to bridge the communication gap, you have to do the work. That's what the coaching relationship is all about. You have to do the work. It can't be just me giving you strategies and steps and you just sit there and not do anything. You have to do the work. And you have to do this daily, every single day. Every single day, you got to practice it. Okay. Now, if you are ready to move forward and you say, you know what, I've been listening to Coach TaShon for these past 16 days. I am ready to take that leap, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna click the link in the description, and I'm gonna go ahead to the TLC coaching offer of $777. You get 7 sessions. You guys, 7 sessions. Oh my goodness, 7 sessions. And listen, with those 7 sessions, you get the TLC Dream Board experience. That's included in your package. You get the 101. You get constant resources. So that means I'm not just going to be like, okay, your session over with. Don't call me no more. You got me. You got me throughout the process, right? So you got the resources, you got the tools, you got the one-on-one, you got the TLC Dream Board experience, and you got a lot more for 7 sessions for $777. You can't beat that, right? So if you absolutely know for sure that you are ready to bridge that communication gap with your spouse, go ahead and click that link right there, the TLC coaching offer. And if you're still unsure, you're like, I want to talk to her a little bit more, go ahead and click IamTrinetteLCollier.com for a clarity call so that we can chit chat for a minute and see if it's a good fit and then we move forward from there. Okay? So until tomorrow, I want you to come on back tomorrow. Told you I got my lesson plan. I'm ready for you, honey. I'm ready for you. Tomorrow, we're gonna talk about that positive language. That positive language in our marriage. Ooh, y'all. Some of y'all wives, we got to be careful with this tongue. Husbands too. We got to be careful. We got to be careful as spouses with each other in our marriages with this language. Mm, that's what I'm saying. We got to be careful. I'm trying to tell you. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, this positive language. Okay. So again, I thank y'all so much for jumping back in here with me. I'm not 100% better. I think I'm probably like 75%, but I'm up, and I thank y'all so much for your prayers and whatnot. Listen, stay safe out here. It is sunny in the GA, and yeah, it's a beautiful day. So be blessed. I will see you all tomorrow. And again, write your apology letter tonight. Okay. And then when you're ready to present it tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, present it to your spouse and let it go. Okay. Goes hand in hand with the forgiveness, all of that. And yes, it can be done. It can be done. Forgiveness, apology, all of that can be done. That's part of bridging the communication gap in your marriage. Remember, you're a unit, you're a team. Okay? Don't let this outside stuff break y'all up. You could do it. All right? So until tomorrow, you guys, I love you. Peace. Bye.